from one story that dominates the news, the one that certainly used to and may well do again as we near the end of the year. That, of course, is Brexit. Talks between the EU and the UK on a potential trade deal that would kick in from the start of 2021 are underway again today. The sticking points so far have been so-called level playing field rules on state aid and fishing rights. But now reports say access for British hauliers and lorries are a problem too. Let's find out more, shall we? And speak to Elizabeth de Jong, who is a Policy Director at Freight Transport Association. Elizabeth, welcome to the programme. So what are British truckers asking for in a Brexit deal with the EU?
Well, the negotiations are ongoing, and as you say, the progress is wrapped up in those bigger issues. Both sides, UK and EU, have a similar view on point-to-point or bilateral transport, so we do expect a formal agreement here. So that means that one-stop deliveries can take place, for example, moving a load between the UK and France and back again. The real negotiations, though, are around additional road transport operations. And there's three types of these. There's cross-trade, a haulier picking something up in France and taking it to Germany. Cabotage, a haulier picking up something in Paris and taking it to Lyon. And transit, a haulier taking something from the UK to Germany via France. And these are the areas where we're asking to have some permission to still carry out some of those operations.
Now, the EU says that permission is fundamentally unbalanced. It's too similar to single market membership. What do you say to that?
Yes, I've heard that too. I don't think the demands are close to single market access at all. And I also think that it's in the economic interests of the EU to come to an agreement. We're not asking for too much. We're asking for a certain reasonable amount, and we mustn't forget that the EU would then be able to do that in the UK, and the EU does twice the value of trade in the UK than the UK does in the EU. So it's very much in their favour to agree to these reasonable requests.
Elizabeth, give us a sense of how businesses would be hit and which businesses in particular if we do see a restriction from December onwards.
Yes, if a deal can't be done, the position for UK and also EU logistics companies and also our economies is very bleak, as the alternative permit system gives very little indeed for both parties. And this will also affect trade on the island of Ireland. So it's really important that deal is done. The UK currently has only 174 annual permits to do that type of trade. Thanks to a multiplier system, if they're given to the most environmentally friendly forms of heavy goods vehicles, that allows 2,000 permits. Currently, 8,000 road haulage companies are registered for international trade, so only 1 in 4 hauliers could get a permit, and then they could only do one journey at a time. So amazing impact. You can imagine the impact on trade of this.
And the chaos as well, I can imagine. We know that trade talks start again today. There's a deadline for the end of the year. How confident are you that a trade deal can be reached by then?
I'm confident because it's in the EU's interest to reach an agreement on these areas. It's economically advantageous to them, more so than it is for Britain. But we need that trade deal for many other reasons as well. It's good for British business. We want to avoid tariffs and quotas. We want to avoid re-engineering supply chains. There's so much that we can deliver more efficiently and effectively through a trade deal, which is in all parties' interests.
You say you're confident, but we're running out of time, aren't we? And there is a huge amount to cover.
Yes, the time for the trade deal, it could go up to the wire, and certainly there is damage if the trade deal isn't done. For example, future contracts for road hauliers and other forms of transport as well will be difficult to commit to and cause massive uncertainty. But there are things that businesses can do to prepare now rather than wait for that trade deal to be agreed. It's getting ready for the basics, making sure you know about import and export paperwork, making sure you know about all the new systems coming into place, making sure you've decided if you need a customs agent, what the values of your customs work is, the numbers and registrations that you need. There's so much businesses can do to prepare now.
We'll leave it there. Elizabeth de Jong, thank you very much for joining us, Policy Director at Freight Transport Association.